Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Thursday live stream yet again. So sorry about that, little technical difficulties, but we are here and let's push forward. So today we're going to talk about is something that happened over on Coinbase and a little bit of a scam and social engineering. And also we're going to take a look at what Eric Trump talks about as far as who is buying Bitcoin and how big it can actually get. So today, I have to tell you, it's not a great day for Coinbase. That is for sure. So this was a video that was put out recently by Brian Armstrong, and I think everybody's been talking about this today. I'm just going to give you my quick take because there's more to this story than what people are saying. It's not just some simple like, oh, they got some personal information. But let me back up. Brian Armstrong came out about 12 hours ago and said, look, this is what happened. We have some customer service reps around the world. First of all, I had no idea they had customer service. I'm just kidding, but not really. It's not like customer service is like their number one strength over at Coinbase. Now, I could be wrong. You can tell me in the Coinbase, or you can tell me in the comment section just how great the customer service is at Coinbase. But I was kind of flabbergasted to say, wow, there's that many customer service agents. But apparently what happened was that a couple of them were bad apples and they were allowed to be bribed. And that from that bribery, they were giving out customer information. Now, no wallets have been hacked. Prime or Coinbase Prime was not affected, which of course, if Coinbase Prime was affected, then our whole entire market would collapse. I'll get into that in a second. So they gave them they gave them bribe, they gave them information, and they got your information. And Brian says that it's less than 1% of Coinbase users, but I'm not for sure that's true. We'll get into that in a second. But they took some of yours name, your address, your date of birth, and some other personal information, right? They didn't get everything. They didn't get like your social security. I think they got like the last four numbers, and they didn't get your bank account, only like the last 4 to 6 of those numbers, but it's something. And it's something that they can use to socially engineer you when you get called from Coinbase and they are there to essentially scam you. Now, this has happened more and more and more. We've seen more of these types of messages, more of these calls, more of these emails come out. And I was always wondering, like, why is it happening the last 3 or 4 months? I've gotten so many emails, messages, and even direct phone calls from people stating that they're from Coinbase. I'm like, well, maybe it's just because it's me, right? Because I have a YouTube channel and that's just, they target me. That's not it. That is not it. So this was actually put out. And I even said like, hey, Brian, I have no problems with him. And I'm very fortunate that Coinbase made a big push and they are leading the way for adoption. That's great. And I said he handled it like a chat. He did a great job. However, again, I just keep wondering about all these different text messages and things that I've been getting over the last 4 or 5 months or so. And this is from Walter Bloomberg. And it says Coinbase hackers had access to customer data since January. Let's break that down. So if this is true, and I had to actually ask Perplexity, I'm like, is this true? Because this doesn't seem right. I just can't fathom that a centralized exchange who is built on trust wouldn't notify their customers immediately if they knew that there was a breach. Because if they didn't do that, that would not be their fiduciary duty to contact their investors, their customers, and say, hey, look, they've got your information. So if you get called and they're trying to, hack you, just know that you have to be diligent and it's not us, and just don't answer them. And just so you know that they have some of your information. But I asked Perplexity this, and the search results do not specify the exact date range of the stolen data or when the initial unauthorized access began. They only confirmed the breach was detected in recent months and publicly disclosed in May, which would be today, May 15th. Why was it publicly disclosed now if it happened months ago? It's because of this. Coinbase's regulatory filings and public statements indicate that its security systems detected the breach in recent months, but the company did not publicly disclose it until the hackers contacted them and demanded a ransom on May 11th. Checks notes, if I'm incorrect, today's the 15th. That's 4 days. So why is this today when it was the 11th? I'm just curious. Let me know what you think about that in the comment section. But if that's the case, and this has been happening over months, the reason why it's come out today is because the hacker sent them an email saying, look, give us $20 million or we're going to mess up your entire existence. And Brian did the right thing. He said, F you. We're going to take $20 million I would have paid that bribe, and we're going to try to find you and hunt you down, like Liam Neeson style. And I'm like, okay, well, that's it. But it just does concern me if that really is what happened. And it makes me think about all these different like wrench attacks and things that we've heard about. This is the French government's going to meet with crypto leaders over rising kidnapping threats. First of all, I'm not going to sit here and blame Coinbase for everything. That's kind of ridiculous because they're not everything and everybody as far as an exchange. However, they are in France. So I'm just putting that out there. So French government to meet crypto leaders over rising kidnapping threats. Government's move comes days after an attempted abduction involving the daughter and grandson of a French crypto executive. The assailants fled after the woman's husband intervened. Incident is part of a broader pattern of physical attacks on crypto holders, often called wrench attacks. That sounds fun. One of the most disturbing cases in France involved Ledger co-founder David Balland and his partner, who were reportedly tortured and held for ransom. Balland had a finger cut off during the ordeal. So again, I'm not blaming Coinbase for everything. I'm just saying that there's a lot more wrench attacks, there's a lot more scams. It's not how much you make, it's how much you keep. And if you can get through all the scammers and all the BS and all the different black swans and orange swans, it's amazing that we can actually make it here. But again, they are in France, just saying. And they're going to try to rectify this. This is great. And they said that Coinbase could pay customers up to $400 million for a data breach. This revelation comes after on-chain sleuth Zach XBT claimed that Coinbase users had lost $300 million to social engineering scams. That's just Coinbase users. I guarantee it's over $1 billion. You take a look at all the different centralized exchanges. The exchange added that it will reimburse any impacted users. I don't know how you can prove that, but I know a bunch of people who are like, yeah, if that's true, and you're not just telling me that this happened in the last 11th, 12th, I'm going to do quick math, 4 days, but it really was months ago, that's a lot of people out there. So there is this one caveat, which is this: Prime accounts are untouched. Nobody lost any funds. There was no hacking of wallets or anything like that. If that would have happened, if the Coinbase Prime accounts would have been hacked, our entire market would have collapsed. And I'm not saying it can happen. I'm just saying it didn't. And I'm saying why this can collapse, because BlackRock uses Coinbase Prime. MicroStrategy uses Coinbase Prime. That is for institutional level custody that Coinbase Prime has done. Now, I'm not going to say that they're goofing that up because nothing's happened so far. I'm just saying that if Coinbase Prime goes down, we all go down. And it would be nice to have a little Coinbase Prime in our lives, right? But we're just peons and plebs and retail, which kind of sucks, but it is what it is. But that's why I'm here to tell you today that I'm going to stop using Coinbase. I'm still going to buy on exchanges like Kraken and Crypto.com and things like that. But if what I just talked about was true, and I'm not saying everything is spot on, I don't know enough, but something's not right over there. It just feels like it. Just to be safe, I'm going to start to use other exchanges. And then, like I've talked about before, I've known many people who have lost their entire life savings. Here, I'm going to show you. Look at this. This was from December. A guy sent me a message, one of many I've gotten. It says, I've been a longtime subscriber and saw your video today about your friend who was hacked and lost all his crypto assets. Unfortunately, the same thing happened to me last week. All my assets worth about $3 million were stolen from my Coinbase wallet. This was my entire wealth, accumulated over 26 years of hard work. I've reported to the local police, but they haven't responded. Do you have any suggestions? And I didn't. I don't. Well, there was some things, but he's never going to get that money back. He's just not. So first of all, whatever you do, that's why I have the rules, right? We have the rules. Rule number 1, don't invest more than you can afford to lose, it's all gone. Rule number 2, everything's a scam until proven otherwise. The things that you do allow the scammers to screw you over. They can't do anything without you saying, oh, well, here's my password. Oh, well, here's my OTP. Oh, well, here's my passphrase. Oh, here's my mnemonic phrase. They can't do squat without that, for the most part. There's other things they can do. That's true. But the majority of what I hear is people get information, personal information that was leaked in Coinbase and other ones. Let's be honest. Ledger did the same exact thing. They leaked personal information. And that's why you're getting all those crappy emails. So these things happen. They social engineer you. They trick you. Even the smartest people fall to it. I know a lot of smart people, very smart. They fall to it because they are tired. Something's going on. One guy just got out of the hospital for a cerebral hemorrhage. I mean, Pete's sakes, what can you do? So I just say like this, move things around. I've got multiple ledgers. I've got multiple TANGEM wallets. I've got a couple of hot wallets I don't really use too much. And now, of course, what I'll be doing is using institutional grade custody, which is through iTRUST. And which one does iTRUST use? They use Coinbase Prime. So again, if it's trusted by BlackRock and Michael Saylor, I'm going to do some of that. I'm going to put a big chunk into iTRUST. Now I use them for a Roth IRA. They made it through the crappy bear market, so I trust them. I've been with them now for 5 years. And I'm not saying this is what you should do. I'm just saying this is what I'm going to do. Because if somebody wrench attacks me and is able to wipe out my ledger or my TANGEM, which good luck. I'm just telling you, I live in Texas. It's an open carry state here. Have fun. But if this does happen, at least I don't lose everything. And the reason for custody here is that they don't accept, you can buy Bitcoin and you can buy all the different types of crypto that you want. But Coinbase Prime holds the crypto and they hold the cash of yours. And that's just it. If someone breaks into your house, wrench attacks you and goes, give me your Bitcoin, you know how easy is it for them to do that? Give me your Bitcoin address. Give me your passphrase. Don't, I'll shoot you. Or whatever it is, right? And they can move it just like that. And they can put it through mixers and it's gone. You know how hard it is to move? I don't know how much you got. Let's say you're a baller and you got like $5 million. You know how hard it is to move $5 million out of a bank? I can't even take $5,000 out of my bank. They suck. So that's one of the, I guess it's a feature. It's a crappy feature from a bank, but it is really what it is. And anything that moves, it's KYC and AML, and it's also for FinCEN, Financial Crimes Division. So that's what they're offering, and I'm going to get with that. And that's where I'm going to start putting everything. I'm going to leave things in Ledger and TANGEM as I see fit, but the new things I buy, it's all going to go into this custody account. And the last thing I'll say is this. People will say, what about the fees? Well, here's the fees for Coinbase. I don't know what you're paying, but there's different things for Coinbase. Spread fees are about 0.5%. Transaction fees are 0.5 to 4.5%. However, if you use because I had Coinbase Prime. No, is that it? No, Coinbase One. Or it was like $20 a month. Now it's $30 a month. And up to $10,000, all the different fees were waived, which is pretty awesome. But if you don't have that, there's also Coinbase Advanced. And it's kind of cumbersome to work with. I just like the easiness of the DCA strategy and things like that. But if you're using just straight up Coinbase, there's your fees. And the fees for iTRUST is 1%. So just let you know and throwing that out there. And then also, I didn't understand this when I was there. I was there to see family in California last week, and I met with the guys over at iTRUST. I actually went to their office, nice office. And they said something weird, and I was like, well, that's cool. They said they just hired 36 more people for customer service. And I was like, bots, or what are you talking about? They go, no. We hired 36 real people. And they took me to this section of the offices, and just a big broad swath of people in America, customer service like real people. And I was like, that's crazy. I haven't seen that in decades. I go, why'd you guys do that? They go, because people want to talk to a real person. So if this is something that interests you, I put their phone number in the description, and I want you to call them and ask them anything that you want to. And it's good to talk to somebody real and not get some crappy bot, and then give them, maybe that's an option for you, maybe it's not, but that's what I'm doing, and that's the story. Anyhow, let me know what you think about that in the comment section. Okay, that was kind of a bummer of a piece. Let's go into some good bullishness, huh? So I'm just going to play this real quick. It's about a minute or so. This is Eric Trump, and he's sitting down one of the different conferences, and it's interesting to see just how many institutions and sovereign wealth funds. I mean, I'll just have you listen to this one. Hold on, make sure you can actually hear it. And this is who is buying Bitcoin. Now, I think it's happening OTC, but it's happening. And I'm very happy, and we're almost going to hit all-time highs. I think we're at 103,000 today, but take a listen to this.
Everybody. I hear it from sovereign wealth funds. I hear it from the wealthiest families. I hear it from the biggest companies. I mean, the adoption of it is incredible. I told a story. I was at MENA in Abu Dhabi, and I told a story right before I got there. A good buddy of mine runs one of the biggest banks in America. You can probably guess which one it is. They run a very, very large office for that bank in the wealthiest suburb of New York, right, in Greenwich, Connecticut. And he always said, a year ago, he was saying, hey, Bitcoin's funny money. Crypto's funny money. The other day, he goes, Eric, where do I buy this incredible kind of, cryptocurrency? Where do I buy Bitcoin? How do I get into this world? And so every single day, guys, I'm telling you, people who were kind of staunchly against it, people who didn't understand it, people who were closed-minded, people who were kind of rhinos to traditional finance are coming around in a massive way. And I think the kind of spike in Bitcoin is going to be significant. And therefore, it really is kind of a race to the top right now. There's a lot of people who are running very, very hard at this mission. And I promise you, we're going to beat them in that marathon.
That's a ballsy move. So that would be Eric Trump just talking. And again, let's see if he's right. I mean, who knows? It looks pretty promising. And we can see this actually. And I'll just finish up with this. It's not just Eric Trump just blowing hot air. I mean, look, this is from Julian. Saudi Central Bank is reporting holding strategy or MicroStrategy shares today. And trust me, companies are not holding MicroStrategy because they're data analytics. It is because they invested into Bitcoin. And also, public Chinese textile company Aiden will issue stock. They're going to issue stock to buy 8,000 Bitcoin for almost $1 billion or 800 million. Hope they get it soon because it's going to go up. And there's little stuff like this. HUUUGE becomes Brazil's first publicly traded company to hold Bitcoin as a treasury asset, acquiring 274 Bitcoin worth 28 million. That's not chump change. I mean, they beat me by a long shot. And then Chinese public company DDC Enterprise to adopt a strategic Bitcoin reserve, plans to buy 5,000 Bitcoin. Let's see how they get around that with the Great Chinese Ban. It looks like they're going to lift that. And finally, which is no surprise to anybody, Goldman Sachs, yeah, those guys, are the top holder of BlackRock's spot Bitcoin ETF as of March 31st. So look, I don't know how to make it any clearer. Things are going in the right direction. It all comes down to macro and how things are executed, but that's it for today. So look, like today's video, give it a thumbs up, consider subscribing when we talk about it's time sensitive. Again, I urge you to give iTRUST a call and talk to a real person and kind of go from there. But that's it for that piece. Now let's do a little Q&A, answer all your questions. We'll get into it. Thanks so much. All right. What did I miss? Wrench or wrench attack, or maybe the administrator, whichever it is. I'm happy you're here, Chicken Ray. This chat is getting wrench attacked. I've got the best moderators. I got the best moderators of all time. Everybody knows it. All of the moderators are failures. Channeling my inner Trump there. Since when is Texas Puerto Rico? Exactly. Well, I got to come back here for business and such. And, we just sold a business, our sports facility. So that revenue is going to be going straight to the iTRUST custody. And I'll be buying different things. I won't just be buying Bitcoin. I'll be buying Bitcoin, probably a little Cardano, little Solana, and a little SUI or SUI, however you say it. Maybe some other stuff. Who knows? Maybe I'll talk to my financial advisor, Bobby, and see what he thinks about Pepe. And then Reg says, rule is not to leave anything in exchanges. That's true. This is true. But I think as time has gone on, things have evolved, and we have to evolve with it. 10 years ago, no one's getting wrench attacked. No one's getting their fingers cut off. No one was getting straight up kidnapped and pretty much decimated for their Bitcoin because Bitcoin wasn't worth that much. And now here we are. And it's a whole new era. And I'm not one to just stick around and just say, well, I hope it goes okay and not plan. You got to plan now because it's up to you to make sure that you keep all the crypto that you are owed and due because you are the one that invested into it. And it's up to you to make sure that it gets taken care of for whatever family member that you want it to go to or to prop up your retirement or whatever that is that you want it. Because it's not, if you don't do it, who's going to do it? It's up to you. So for me, I just look at it like this. I'm probably going to still have, 50 to 80% in cold storage, right? But if something happens, I want at least 20% into a custody service, which is extremely hard if something happens to me to get that out as far as hackers go. And if Bitcoin and the entire crypto market goes where I think it's going to go, 20% is plenty. So that's it. Every time this guy is talking market dumps, well, you're welcome. You're welcome. So I give you the ability to get in on low prices. Kenziet, I know, if you want to give me a gift, or I can give you my Bitcoin address. You can send it to me right now. I mean, you're welcome. So anyhow, I made the live stream. Average Joe. Crypto has been declared dead 100 times the last decade, but I'm still here because, Chris, you're one of the real ones. It's not easy to stick around. I've seen a lot of people come and go, and it's usually the ones that they show up when there's all-time highs and they're really happy because they want to ride that hockey stick. And guess what? And they're gone. That's okay. It's us. We're the ones that make the markets go around, right? We prop up. We're the ones that are the bag holders. We have to carry these heavy bags across this massive Sahara desert that is a bear market for months and sometimes years. And then when there's a massive bull run, we get to put those bags down and let someone else carry those bags for us. And that's going to happen again. ETH 20K. If all these guys are buying OTC, what will the catalyst of the price to jump suddenly as if by pent-up demand? Yeah, I mean, Michael, I will tell you this. Like, since I've been in 2017, I've heard this thing called there's going to be a supply shock. Still doesn't happen. So I don't know. It's going to have to be a boatload of buying, and it's going to have to be family offices and big, massive other institutions going, we really need to get on this now as fast as possible and really start buying. Also, the leverage plays have to get shaken out by a massive amount and stop doing some crazy, massive leverage. It seems like, and my friend Jim will show this to me every so often. Like, look, this is all the levered longs, this is all the levered shorts. And what will usually happen is I have to wipe them out first for the longs, and they have to dip back down and then get all the shorts, and they can move forward. And I'm like, that's how it works? He's like, that's pretty much it. Yeah. Cam's video wrench, please. I'll get it to you if you keep hanging around. One butt, Bobby. I care. We all care. Thank you. Let's see. Ben Marteja. Benny is here. Back to bed. Good night, all. It's good to see some familiar names again. Hello, Benny. If you guys know Benny, he's doing great things over at X, wiping out the scammers to protect you. He's like the Batman of X accounts, trying to clean out everybody. This is a good question. The Coinbase failure, or is Coinbase owners part of the inside grift? Same old trick of the ages to pump and dump markets, profits. I just want to cut my money. That would be highly illegal to do it. I just don't see. And here's another thing that I neglected to mention, that, Coinbase just got into the S&P 500. That would have not been great for them to reveal that they just had a pretty massive hack happen to them during that time frame. So maybe they didn't want to make that public. I'm just guessing. Maybe not. I don't know. But I wouldn't want to do that. So in that situation, but then when an email comes to you, and by legally, like we talked about, you have to disclose that. And that's what happened there. So I hope it works out for them. I just can't keep using. Yeah. Enjoy your dryness, Rob. I am not entertaining. I can be sometimes, but mostly it's just, here's the facts and that's it. Does this mean we've made it since cryptos were stealing? Dirty Dan. That's a great name. Yeah, I think so, right? I mean, no one's stealing anybody's pet rock or tulips these days. So yeah, Benny's flexing. What dump? Exactly. Yeah. If you mess with wrong, you'll be wrench attacked. Exactly. Mohammed's got a nice wrench there. Look at that. Very nice. Got the live stream from Australia. Samuel, thanks for stopping by. French. Ben's risk levels of ETH Bitcoin nailed it. Made buying at lows easy. Hardly had to think. I know. I'm telling you. Would everybody like to see those risk levels? Let's take a look. Just don't tell him. Just take a look at Ben's website. It's just us. It'll be okay. So let's see. What we're talking about here is risk levels. And, let's take a look at Ethereum. Wow, Ethereum really pumped up. 0.53. And, when it was at, sub 2,000, the risk levels are pretty appetizing. I mean, for some people, I didn't buy anymore. I've kind of lost a lot of faith in Ethereum. I just have. I know people say that's dumb, but I've got enough. I don't need to buy anymore. I'm good. But at 0.42, 1800, 0.45, see anything below 0.5, you really want to me, I look at that and go, if I believe in that project still, I will increase my dollar cost averaging. And if it goes to like 0.37, I increase even more. And if it goes down this list and like you're at 0.15 and you still believe in the project, think it has good fundamental things are going, because at 0.1, if Ethereum ever dropped down to this, I'd definitely buy myself. But yeah, for these risk levels, it makes things very simple. And then as it kind of starts to blow up, then you start to think to yourself, okay, maybe if I'm going to ladder in 0.45, 0.475 at 1964 and 2027, maybe I ladder out when it gets to 0.7, when it hits 4,300, maybe I take 10% profits. And at 0.8, I take another 20% profits. And at 0.9, I take like 50% profit, or whatever you want to do. That's the beauty of the wristbands. And if you'd like to check that out, links in the description for Ben's website. Yeah. Jay Today says, if Coinbase Prime gets hacked, we'll all be buying some really cheap sats. That's true, but then no one will have any faith in Bitcoin being on it. And of course, it's not the chain that got hacked. It's just the custody aspect. And of course, my argument would be, well, it's on an exchange, so what do you expect? If you would have done cold storage. But as I understand it, for Coinbase Prime, everything is in cold storage. So it'd be an interesting segment to see how that actually does unfold, if it ever does. I just pray it does not. This is a healthy connection. I believe it. Chill. Cheers. Un abrazo. Efrain's here. The secret of not getting a wrench attack is to invest in S coins when everything is up and sell when the market crashes. Guarantee no one will bother wrench attacking you. Exactly. And no one's going to wrench attack. No one's going to wrench attack you at Walmart when you're trying to pick up some blue deal sales. Troy says, Rob, will people in your ADA pool get airdrop midnight? Yes. As soon as they tell us exactly what we have to do for that. So I've gotten this question, I think like about every month or so. But yeah, we'll make sure it happens. Good chance to accumulate the correction? That's true. I'm just chilling, eating watermelon in the rain, waiting for alt market. I think you're going to need some more watermelon, but I think it's coming around the corner. Who knows? We wrecked the short since tariff day. Now we need to wreck the longs. Yeah, maybe so. Radio fees. You left Puerto Rico over Texas. No, this is a natural life of a vagabond and nomad. Is essentially I live in Puerto Rico for 8-9 months out of the year. Then 3 or so months we come back to Texas for family, take care of some properties, take care of some business. Not as less businesses to take care of though, which is pretty nice. And then make a new green screen, stuff like that. But I'd like to be back, because if you've been in El Paso, Texas, it's hot as hell, and there's dust storms. And besides the people and the food, the weather's awful. It's just ridiculously hot, like 110. But in Puerto Rico, it's always nice all the time. I mean, except for the hurricanes. Those kind of are a bummer. Do you like perp on Solana? I never heard of it. Don't call these crypto customer service agents from other countries. Never know, especially Brits. I just learned Peter Schiff is going to be at Bitcoin 20. Oh, that's right. He's going to be speaking at Bitcoin conference. You know who else is speaking at Bitcoin conference? Ben is going to be one of the panelists. He's talking about, I think it was the inclusion of institutions and how it's affected the market. It should be pretty good. I'll be watching that one. What's the risk level for Sol and Sui? Wow. Let's take a look. Now, this will be the last one I do because I can't do them all. Let's see. Let's do Solana. Solana's up there. Actually, not that bad. 0.63 is the risk level at $169. But if you get back to its all-time high, it's at 0.75. Again, risk levels, they change over time depending on price action and time in that price. But if you look at 0.8, 339, 0.9, 542, I'll take those. I would probably be out around that level. And definitely at 0.95 at $686, you better believe it. You better believe it. So the other stuff, I don't know. Oh, meme, humans are going to be humans until AI is handling customer service at the level a human can. We will be vulnerable to scammers. Yeah, there was a great piece, YouTube podcast. What is the podcast? Diary of a CEO. And they had a bunch of different experts in AI, and the things that are going to happen over the next 2 years, quite frightening, actually. They say if you can do any job or aspect of your life that involves a keyboard, will be done by AI. So I think in about 2 years, maybe, or less, you're going to see all like YouTube videos. It'll be like just a bunch of babies, like the baby AIs, or it'll be some other different person. It looks kind of like a much more handsome version of myself. And then they're just going to have those guys. And that'll be that part. And of course, also, maybe for medicine and legal aspects. The jobs that are going to be hard to replace are manual labor. I know people say, what about the Optimus robot? Sure. But right now, if I was in high school, I would definitely be in the trade. I would be either electrician, plumber, general contractor. Big money to be made. Big money. No group here, Rick. Just sit back and enjoy the show. Exactly. My financial advisor advised me not to buy SUI, suicidal coin with teardrop symbol. Coinbase didn't get hacked. Well, it did in a way because it was hackers who got into the aspect of the customer service representatives, and they got into the system through those customer service reps to get out customers' information, which would include name, address, last four of Social Security, bank accounts, last 4 to 6, and other sensitive information. So in that regards, it did. It didn't lose any funds like we talked about, Bobby. But yeah, that's it. So, but Bobby, let me ask you this. Are you done with buying all of the meme coins? I would like you to stop. It's ridiculous, Bobby. These people scream about hacks just to get clicks. Bobby, I don't know what your problem is today. You should be out there gambling like you usually do. Stay vigilant. Don't click on emails. Go straight to the source of the webpage. If you get a fraud warning or suspicious activity alert, yeah. Andrew Dixon is here. Haven't seen y'all for a while. Everything's good? Everything's good. Oh, just a couple more minutes, then we got to get out of here, everybody. It's I try not to do these videos too long. I want to kick everybody's time, although it is fun. Is Bobby still betting on Polymer? I don't know. Bobby, where did you go? Oh, so Bobby, is it? Or are you still betting on poly markets? People want to know. Also, are you still following the half and half method? Because I know that you bought, I think you bought some Pepe recently, maybe a little T-coin. And hopefully, as it doubled, you took those profits. Number one gambler right here. It seems it's always shipped coiners. That's a good one. They're ones that get scammed or hacked. Stick with Bitcoin, put in cold storage, multi-sig. Multi-sig's a good one. I told Mrs. Golfer we were hacked for all our Bitcoin. Keep it a secret. See you in Vegas. Yeah, man. Yeah. Don't lie, Bobby. Don't lie. You're here. You're a gambler. It's okay. I know who I know you. Got it to $1. Altcoins are dead. And I'm going to leave it with this, which is a good question. Do the fans always spin in the green scheme? It's looking very sharp today. Again, Fiverr can do great things. Fiverr, Fiverr.com, one of the channel partners. And if you'd like a green screen like this, just look them up. And that's it for today. So look, everybody, I think we're going in the right direction. Macro is looking pretty good. We'll see what happens with tariffs. And besides this little hiccup, I think we're at the right place at the right time. Anyhow, like today's video, thumbs up, subscribe, all that great stuff. And I'll see you guys tomorrow on the next live stream. Have a great rest of your day or night. Adios.